I would describe DRC as the poorest rich country in the world. You're talking about a mineral potential wealth of 24 trillion US dollars. 24 trillion. For you to understand this, the US GDP is estimated at 14.5 trillion US dollars. The second biggest economy is China with 5.8 trillion US dollars, followed by Japan with about 5.5 trillion US dollar. If you combine the three biggest economies, GDPs, you'll be talking about 24 trillion US dollars. While DRC alone is sitting on 24 trillion US dollar. When you think about Democratic Republic of Congo, you're talking about a forgotten injustice. And if you want to understand the case of Congo, you need to go back to the 18th century. 1860s, when this country was colonized by the Belgians, when actually it became a personal property of one man called King Leopold. And that is where you start to trace the injustices committed against this country. In terms of about 10 million people killed at that time, and nobody mentions about that as a genocide. And from that time, come the time of independence, we have seen this country roll into trouble time after time. From 1998 to date, we are saying 5.4 million people have died in this country. Now, why is it not an issue to somebody somewhere? How come a tsunami which kills only 200,000 plus attracts a global attention, attracts the global leaders talk about it? But here we're talking about a situation where 5.4 million people have died, and they're dying systematically as a result of an ongoing conflict that can be stopped. Why is the world not concerned about DRC? A country with the largest number of displaced people, 3 million of internally displaced people. We're talking about 43% of children underweight. You're talking about 59% of the population living under $1 per day. When you have these facts, you need to ask yourself, does World Vision want to become part of that conspiracy of silence? There are children, there are women, there are men who probably you will not see in the international media, but there are children who have suffered from poverty, untold suffering. They have never lived in a home for the last 20 years. Everything they have known is an IDP camp as their home. And you tell me you can raise decent children in that environment? They have no school, they have no food. And this has been running for the last 20 years. So we're saying if nothing is done to stop this, we are likely to see this country completely lose its track on the development process. Now, children are the first victims of this war we are hearing. Rape, sexual abuse, child soldiers, recruitment, and that happens. That's why World Vision can't keep quiet about this. If we are talking about a country with about 40 million children out of a population of 70 million people, that's the reason why we are saying DRC needs to become a high priority for World Vision. Okay, why does DRC concern World Vision? Now, if you look at the map of Africa, DRC sits right at the heart of Africa. And DRC happens to be the only country with 9 neighbors surrounding it, happens to be the only country that prohibits free flow of communication from east to west, from north to south. If you start driving from Cairo, when you get to DRC, the road stops. If you start from Cape Town all the way to DRC, it stops. Start from Accra driving, you stop at DRC because there are no roads. So if we can unlock DRC, we are not only unlocking a country, but we are unlocking the continent of Africa. That's why it's very important. Looking at the mineral resource capacity, even the population, the market for economies, this country holds the key for development of Africa. We must have a strategic shift to focus on the root causes of poverty in this country, systems and structures that perpetuate poverty in this country. And that's why advocacy becomes our priority strategic intervention. We'll advocate for better exploitation and utilization of resources from natural resources. So mining becomes a target area for World Vision, Democratic Republic of Congo. We will also be looking at the issue of conflict and how that plays into the resources, control, and political processes, because they have a strong bearing on the well-being of children. We'll focus on issues of child protection, and we'll also focus on issues of child health now campaign, because it's a huge issue. The government of Democratic Republic of Congo has publicly acknowledged they will not be able to meet any of the Millennium Development Goals.
Fragility cuts across this entire nation. It has different faces and manifestations in the 4 regions where we're working, but we have seen the great opportunities that are there through our already existing investment. What we're now calling for is a partnership-wide commitment to get behind the national office in the DRC to make sure that the required investment, both in terms of financial resources, human capacity, comes on board so that we can be part of birthing a new Democratic Republic of Congo in which the children of the Congo have greater opportunities, are freed from situations that trap them, situations of being drawn into the mining sector, sexual abuse, violence, and the oppression that is causing their families not to be able to provide for their basic needs.
This country has the potential for anything, be it agricultural production, be it value addition of the produce, be it processing, be it production of whatever it is. We have a huge potential to make this country self-sufficient. We can make another DRC possible, where children can enjoy life in all its fullness, where women can walk without fear. And this is not a far-fetched dream. We believe it is possible.